I gave her top billing. Hi, Jay.
Now that I'm here.
Hi, Jay. Okay. Hi, Francis. Hey.
Are you good at miking? Are you good at miking? Can you mic
So we're live on the robust opposition here from the Jane Fonda press conference. She's about to close her account at Wells Fargo.
So can everyone please come in and thank you, Bubbles Cleaners, for helping us today.
Bubbles cleaners.
So basically, you guys can just spread out. Here's how we have to do this. I apologize for being so guerrilla, but it brings out, what we're dealing with. So we want to do one question, and we're going to have Fox and CNN get the responses. Does that work for you guys?
Beautiful.
Okay. So who wants to start with some questions?
He'll take care of it.
Okay, and then we'll look into Fox and CNN.
Oh, thank you.
And then we'll do some
Well, if you could
photos.
just look a little bit off camera, Jane.
And then we're going to do some interviews as well.
And just tell us why you're here today and what you're doing.
Well, I found out that my bank, Wells Fargo, is invested in the North Dakota Pipeline. The two companies that own it and run it, Energy Transfer Partners and Sunoco. And given the realities of the pipeline and what it represents, which includes some pretty serious risks of disaster, I'm withdrawing my money from Wells Fargo, and I'm going to tell them that today. These two companies have the worst records of contamination, oil spills, groundwater contamination, of any pipelines in the country.
I'm not asking for account information, but do you have a significant amount of money at Wells Fargo?
It's all relative.
And do they know you're doing this?
Probably. If you all are here, they probably do, yes. See, Lily was way ahead of me. She took her money out 2 weeks ago.
You want to tell us about that?
She's always ahead of me.
No, never ahead of her. Honestly, I have a different satellite dish on the roof. Well, I just, as soon as I heard about all the shenanigans that Wells Fargo was involved in, I said, well, we've got to get our money out. So I did.
And what are you hoping that people who see this will do in response?
I hope they'll get their money out. Mm-hmm. That's one of the surest ways to cut them off at the knees. Any force that's doing ill work is to hit them in the pocketbook, and it's a show of solidarity with the Standing Rock people.
It's actually a global movement. It's defund DAPL, and there are banks all around the world that have money in this really bad oil pipeline, and the movement is gaining momentum, and this is just one way to call attention to it and to urge people to find out if their banks are involved in this pipeline.
What about a bigger issue of just divesting from all fossil fuel?
Well, that's a pretty good idea, given the climate science say that we should leave whatever's in the ground, and that's one of the things that I'm asking Wells Fargo, why are you doing this when all the science says that we have to leave what's in there and not pump out anymore? And the production of the Bakken oil fields in North Dakota has dropped 25% since the contracts were signed between the financial people and the pipeline. And so there's not even a need for the pipeline. They have all the pipeline infrastructure that they have there. So on top of everything else, it's redundant.
Given all the issues that you could support, what is it about this one in particular? Maybe you want to talk about that.
Well, I just got a text from a friend of mine who said that if you want to put your money somewhere that is green, eco-friendly, and employee-friendly, aspiration.com. Mm-hmm. Aspiration.com.
What is that, a website where it gives a list of banks?
Yeah, well, it's a place where you can invest your money in nothing but green stuff, so that and ATM worldwide and good ratings.
Amalgamated is a good bank too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so why this issue of all the issues out there? What is it about this that made you feel like I need to stand up for this particular?
Well, one of the things that's so beautiful about this issue at Standing Rock is it was young people that said we cannot allow this to happen. There were, young teenagers ran all the way to Washington to petition the government to stop it. And from there, it just began to grow. They are the people that kind of woke us up, these youngsters. And Francis was at Standing Rock, I've been there, and it's amazing to see the spirit that's there. So we have broken all our treaties with the Native Americans, the first people on this land, and enough already. That's one thing. We have to live up to our obligations to the First Peoples. Number two, I believe in the climate science that says we have to leave the oil and gas in the ground because climate change is going to take us all down. The Native people have been telling us for centuries how to live, how to live in a relationship to the land, and we didn't pay attention. And now we're reaping what we've sowed, and it's time to start listening to them. It's like an existential crossroad what's happening at Standing Rock. If we can shut down this pipeline, it will be a very, very important signal that the train has left the station in terms of green energy. There's a momentum happening, and we're going to keep it going.
And do you feel with the incoming administration that if you can't get the regulators on your side, that then you go after the money?
Well, you have to go after from every angle that you can, whatever power or status that we have in this sort of lopsided situation. So yes, I think that's what we have to do.
It certainly worked in South Africa, right? I mean, it was divestment from South Africa that helped topple apartheid. So
And also, it's not just about the water. It's a human rights issue also. I witnessed a lot of atrocities being perpetrated upon the peaceful water protectors by the Morton County Police, militarized police. It's a justice issue. It's an ecological issue. It's ethical issues. It's ground zero for so many things.
What has your personal experiences been at Standing Rock that you hope that people that are seeing this can relate to?
Oh, I just have to say the hugs. In Hollywood we do this. Hey, how you doing? Right? At Standing Rock, you get a real hug for 20 seconds. And that's the true exchange of energy between two people. And that makes a big difference. I saw nothing but peace and quiet at the camp. And there were thousands, and prayer and ceremony constantly. It was a beautiful thing, and there's a lot that we can learn from our Native relatives in terms of taking care of ourselves, taking care of each other, taking care of the land, taking care of the water, taking care of the sky.
Anything else either of you would like to add?
I want to introduce the organizer for today, Jay Ponte, who's also at Standing Rock and has been involved with LA Climate Rally. And Jay would like to talk about why he came to this event for today.
Start off by spelling your name.
My name is Jay Ponte, Jayponti, and I'm very honored to be here with such august company and one of my heroes, I can say, and Francis as well. We've been having some adventures throughout the last year in activism, and we started this campaign in the beginning of November. Susan Sarandon was one of the co-founders of the hashtag BankExit movement, because what we witnessed was an administration who talked about climate change, talked about Indigenous rights, but did not demand that the Army Corps of Engineers complete their environmental impact statement, which should have been done 2 years ago. We saw that with the incoming Trump administration, it's very likely, him being an investor, he said that he has intended to grant the easement. And in spite of that, despite the fact the Army Corps has denied the easement, denied the permit, Energy Transfer Partners in Sunoco is continuing construction in defiance. So it makes good sense that we're going to vote with our dollars. And as Susan says, put your money where your mouth is. And we will not fund climate change, we will not fund environmental racism, Indigenous genocide. And this, as Jane said, this is a stand for the future, for climate change. This pipeline represents 22 million new cars. It's the same in terms of climate change. So we're here making a stand, and we hope that the incoming administration and the banks will invest in renewable energy. And we ask everyone to also do the same, and hashtag BankExit. You can go to defund.DAPL.org to see, and millions of people are doing it. It's quite empowering.
Thank you all for coming.
I have another thing to say. Can I get the photographers
Today's my
coming up
79th
front so
birthday.
that we can shoot? We have Wire Getty. We have a couple other photographers. If they can come up to the front so they can get their shots, please. Can you shoot it? Excuse me. All right, and we'll do a couple with Jay, and then we'll do with that.
All right.
Yeah.
You got Jane and Fran.
Yeah, lady.
That's a good code.
If I can have both of you guys look over here. My camera right here.
Yeah, right next to her, right here.
Okay, and then the three.
Yeah.
Nothing personal, Jim.
Actually, Kevin Vilkin has also been a big, yes, no, this is Kevin Vilkin from the
Hi.
Give Power organization, and he has been one of the core organizers also of this event as well. And this is an Indigenous-led movement as well, organized with SoCal 50 and AIM SoCal as well.
Okay.
Any other questions? Well, thank you.
All right, I thank you so much for handling.
Thank you guys. Spread the word.
By the way, did you guys know that it's Jane's birthday today?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jane. Happy birthday to you.
Candy canes down. Candy canes down.
It happened on the last note.
That's good.
That's good luck. I thought it was a
So let's
simple
take
crash.
a picture with
Yes.
the
Yes.
dry cleaning.
Yes. Hello.